Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, the Rumpled One, coming to you Monday, December the 2nd, the year's 2019. Let's talk trading. Trading is not the same as investing. I'm sure you probably know the name Warren Buffett. He's an investor. He's not a trader. And trading is just not the same as investing. I mean, there's a big overlap, a lot of things in common. There's no certainty in the outcome. But trading is usually very, very, very short term. You're not really interested in holding on to whatever it is you're trading for any length of time. You just want to exchange it for more than what you paid for it, so you keep the difference. That's your profit. Whereas in investing, you take the long-term view and you start to build a position because you're betting that over time, in some case years, in some case decades, that the value is going to go up and up and up. But you see, many traders, they're looking for certainty in an uncertain world. I'm thinking I should paraphrase Harry Brown's book, How I Found Certainty in an Uncertain World. That's the paraphrase. He wrote How I Found Freedom in an Unfree World. But if you think about it, some things are certain, but it all has to do with timing. That's the same thing in investing. It's all about timing, buying low, selling high, and buying back low. But the mindset is different. But when it comes to things like, risk and money management, once again, they definitely share that. They have that in common. The main thing, or the main takeaway is that, when I go through these charts and you go through your charts and you realize it's uncertain and you realize you're trading, you really don't want to hold on to the Japanese yen for years, I don't think. You probably don't even want to hold on to it for months. You're probably thinking more in terms of, maybe a day or two, maybe a week. But, for a lot of traders, they want to just be in and out in an hour or so. And we talk about screen time a lot. And I'll probably bring that up a few more times this week because, as I told a trader, a friend of mine today, that even though I might be sitting in front of the screen, but I don't place a trade all day, that doesn't mean I wasn't trading. It's like hunting. You go out hunting, you might be out there in the woods all day and half the night or all night, and you don't take a shot, but you were hunting. You don't say, oh, well, no, I didn't hunt. No, you were hunting because part of hunting and part of trading is waiting to get your shot. And of course, when you're trading, you don't want to lose more than you're willing to lose on any particular trade. Now, let's take a look here. As you can see, looking at, the pretty much plain vanilla chart, we've got 3 horizontal lines. Here's our daily open. And you see price went up above the previous day's high a couple of times here, and then fell below it, came back through, and it just took a nice tumble. Now, when we looked at this chart yesterday, there was a gap, and it gapped up 6 pips. Now, I don't know if any of you took that trade, but you can see here it was in the upper weekly wick zone. It had exited, and now it came back in, and it came out the other side. And it also took out that weekly pivot, which I know I mentioned to you. I don't know how many of you traded it, but it was there for the taking. And you can see here, there's still some other pairs that have not filled. Last week we had 2 that didn't fill, and that hadn't happened for a few weeks, if I remember correctly. And as you can see here, price just doesn't want to seem to close above that yearly open. I mean, we're 62 pips below it again. Yesterday when I made the video last night, Sunday night, these were all green if I remember correctly. I know these were all green, but see how quickly things can change. And that's part of the difference between trading and investing. Now, if you were an investor, unless this is taking you out, hitting your stop loss, you're not too concerned about the day-to-day fluctuations. But as a trader, that's probably part of your bread and butter, these day-to-day fluctuations. And once again, here's that first trading day of the year. That's the range. Got the high and the low. You can see we barely exited. Now we're back in here. And we're putting in the first trading day of the week. And I don't know if you guys have been really looking at these first trading days of the week, but I've been noticing on the yen that the Monday range has seemed to be pretty large lately. And for the rest of the week, it's almost a struggle for price to make a break out of either side of that range. But, those are types of things that you really have to run frequency distributions to see if what you're seeing is something that's true or something that's only true for a short period of time, an anomaly. If this, you have to look at, say, at least 50 weeks, 100 weeks, 1 or 2 years worth of data to see if there's anything to it, if there's something that you can exploit for profit. And you can see here once again, even on the daily, we put in a 3-ball here and price came back down. And I need to update the plot by date indicator here because now December and numlock not on. I guess numlock wasn't on. Okay, what did I do wrong there? Maybe it has to wait till tomorrow. 2019 1201. Interesting. Oh, it's actually 1202 because it was Sunday 1201, but broker time, as you can see over here, is 1202. Forgot about that. There we go. And so you can see here, these two match these two. We have to do the same thing here. $12.02. And this is showing the first trading day of the month, the ranges. Inside bar. Yesterday we had a break to the top. Here we have a breakout to the bottom. And look where we are. Weekly inside bar again. And that was just 2 weeks ago. So once again, there's lots of inside bar action to be had here. But those traders who are trading that daily inside bar, definitely you had 31 pips profit there. the moment. So simple trades, it's definitely not investing. It's when price hits this line, it could turn around and reverse just like it did here. You see, it came down and reversed from that level. That, in fact, that's what created the inside bar. So you never know, but that's why we have stop losses. You're just saying, you're basically betting that, hey, you know what? I believe price is going to break out and I'm willing to risk, X number of pips to prove me wrong. So if I'm right, I make money. And if I pick the wrong direction, then I get stopped out. And that's it. Dust yourself off, continue with the next trade. This isn't difficult. You see, people think Warren Buffett's a genius, and yeah, he made lots of money. But the thing is, he had Charlie Munger working with him, and they did their research. But what they were willing to do, which most traders and slash investors aren't, they were willing to wait, and they were willing to wait a long, long, long time. We're talking decades in some cases. We've got some movement here on the range. We've got 6 pairs over 100 range. Dollar yen at a respectable 73. And you know what that means. Okay, we got a monthly H1 lowest open sitting here at 109.09. And possibly we're going to get a new lower open because this bar ends in 5 minutes. And you might look to reverse off of that. Took out the pivot point. Green rats, get ready. Caution range too low. That's not right. I might have an error in that code. I'm going to have to look and see. I think probably what happened was I didn't clear this message out. So this is probably an old message. So I hadn't released that indicator, so good thing. Sometimes you can only test it when certain things happen, and having the range go above the 40 hadn't happened in a while, at least not while I was watching. So you can see here we hit the what? The monthly pivot. Imagine that. Once again, showing the power of those pivot points. Now, they're not magic numbers. It's just a lot of traders look at them, and the statistics are on our side. So you see here, looks like we could almost take out this pivot at the rate we're going. But for the dailies, you can see how many we missed this year. And for the weeklies, so yesterday, at the time I made the video, we hadn't hit this pivot, but we've now taken it out. So you can see how infrequent those pivots and how infrequent these pivots. So here you go. Monthly pivot hasn't been missed since 2013. We opened above it. Place your bets. Use your be smart. Stop loss position size accordingly. Profit to be made. Now, I had a trader ask me about the 3-level ZZ, but I'm running out of time in this video. So we'll pick it up in a video later this week. You can see here, in and out of the wick zone right through it. Once again, some of the same wick zone lines, basically. Some movement to the downside here, about 6 pips. And somebody asked about the spread on the Einstein line. I believe I sent you those indicators. I hope that's what you were looking for. But remember, fellow traders, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the